You got any closing thoughts for Indiana football, Brad, before we transition into MB knows how to use his blockers?
Refs are part of the game, you know.
They are. I'm surprised more refs don't get caught up in plays like that.
I'm surprised more teams don't scheme up around ref movements to ref scheme like ref screens.
No, Maryland was scary. I've gone back a couple times to like watch game highlights or like try and like my TikTok edit game is going to the next level. Let me tell you, like, but that's neither here nor there. But I've been like going back to watch like the game. Like Maryland was like score for score. Like if you remember, Rourke I think got picked off on his first like 2 passes that he threw.
His first one was incomplete. And then he throws 2 picks. His next 2 throws.
And I believe it was tied coming out of half. Like it was definitely too close for comfort. Like it was a 2-score win, and they did beat up on a bunch of teams, but definitely like I agree with that.
When you play in the Big Ten, you're gonna have tests here and there. Maryland beat USC last year. Like they weren't bad.
No, that's why it's a
good conference.
That's why I will not hear any like schedule arguments or like anything about Indiana's non-con, because you look at the Big Ten, like even the 13th best team in the Big Ten would win every other conference besides the SEC.
Yeah. Basically. I think Maryland wins the Big 12 last year, to be honest. Is that a crazy take?
I mean, they got rated like a Big 12 team.
They go 8-4, 9-3 in the ACC. Last year, at least. I don't know about this year. This year's gonna be different for them.
That's like it's not just like TV contracts and like talk that the SEC and the Big Ten in particular are the 2 best leagues. Like they're putting up the most money. They have the biggest coaching staffs. Like they have the highest paid coaches. They have the best facilities. Like it's a whole takeover of the game. Like it is a whole different level when you're talking about these 2 conferences in particular. And so, yeah, I think a Maryland would go 9-3 playing an ACC conference schedule, or like the Big 12 isn't a bad conference. You know what I mean?
We're starting to sound like our friends down south.
We are, and it's disgusting, but it's got to call it like I see it. Like you show me where in the ACC teams are spending $60 million on their roster.
Full disclosure, I call it Power 2 football for the most part. You know I do. I call it Power 2, Big 10 SEC. But around like my Arizona buddy, you know, call it Power 4. Just make him feel better.
It's under the guise of Power 4 right now, and that's kind of what we're seeing with this committee that the Power 4 conferences elected. But there was like Jackson Johnson had a quote tweet of something today about like the SEC was having backroom conversations, telling like Sankey they're cool with him leaving the NCAA. And now like I'm already like I've proclaimed the NCAA dead multiple times, live, on paper, like whatever. But it's like this stuff is happening in real time. It's like that's why, like, not just for the fans, for people like us, like that like the time was now for Indiana to put their foot down and become good at football, because if you get left behind and at this point in time, you're cooked.
100%.
Oh my God. I almost completely forgot. I don't know what it's just something about going on a Monday. Iowa, Nebraska dominates the ACC or Big 12. Yeah, I completely agree. You look at the level of talent on their rosters. It's like they're sending 3-4 guys to the league consistently every year.
Talk here in Bloomington is that Sig is spending more money than he's letting on. I hope so.
Yeah, that's how the game works.
Legal mob money, and we're just spending $100 million on rosters every year. Just
the number is always bigger than they put out publicly. Like Ross Bjork, Ohio State's athletic director last year said their roster was worth $20 million, and it was actually worth 40. Like right now, people are like, oh, high-end rosters in college football cost $40 million. It's like, no, that was last year's number. Like the number is going up. Like you think that some freshman, and I'm not calling like Bryce Underwood some freshman, but in this context, like some freshman gets $10 million and the junior or senior superstar on the same team isn't going to say something? How about on a different team? Like that's the game being played. So yeah, I hope Cignetti is spending more money than he's letting on, and that I hope he's just because he's a master of using the media to build his narrative as well. And he is very good at positioning Indiana to be protected. And so I wouldn't be surprised if he was almost taking the wind out of Indiana's sails intentionally in that regard. At the same time, like, whatever the number again is publicly, there is a gap between what Indiana is spending and what a team like Ohio State's spending.
There probably is. For now. I don't think we're there. I don't think we're ready to spend $40 million on a roster, $50 million.
And I don't think they need
to. We got to keep building it smart how we're doing it, and then we can make the splashy plays once we have the foundation. Once we have a 3 deep of 4 or 5-star O linemen, then we can start splashing it up.
Well, Brad, this is literally the whole point I wanted to make this week that I was just about to blow right by. But it was Andy Staples tweeted out Clark Brooks on three's top 100 impact players list. And with the caveat that he said, this probably means I blew it with Indiana and need to redo the top 25. And like, he's right. He did blow it with Indiana because the first school is Texas. They have 7, Florida 6. And then it's 5 schools with 5, Alabama, Clemson, Indiana, Oregon, Penn State. Like, You like, we've been blue in the face talking about how good this team is coming back. It's like, I guess he needed Clark Brooks from On 3 to put it in writing for him and for people to like kind of realize like, oh my God, maybe they do actually have some real talent coming back and brought in some real impact guys. But like, yeah, like that's why the title of this is, yes, you're too low on the 2025 Indiana Hoosiers. Like, look around the country, look who has the dudes coming back. Like, we're one of those schools.
Yeah. And we made the playoff last year, if people forgot. Like 11-1, like not 10-2, not 9-3. Like, they went 11-1 last year, and they're bringing back all their best players. It's quite fascinating. Where the lack of hype, like, if basically with this type of roster construction, any other Power 2 school besides Indiana would be getting top 10 consensus across all these preseason rankings. They would, even if it was Purdue,
100%. Like Illinois,
like that. The only thing that's holding him back is the fact that it's IU on the logo.
Yeah, and I saw Mike Schumann from the Daily Hoosier call it brand brain. I thought that was funny.
The brand brain's a great way to put it because, you know, and it's true. Obviously, I'm not like oblivious to why that is. Like, I do think Indiana has to prove it this year. I think they will. But they do have to prove it. They have to win. If they want to be taken seriously, they have to win 9 games this year. There's no.
Well, yeah, but looking at like taking a school like Illinois, and people are like, they have 18 returning starters and the continuity and all. It's about the quality of player you have coming back too. It doesn't matter if everybody came back if your team was terrible. And like, that was a good football team, but like, I don't know, man. Like, we don't see it. It's almost like bang your head into the table. Like,
but Illinois, I like it. Like, we should be having like
I like it, but it's also frustrating.
It's like when we would remember 20-21, and we had like a lot of like, oh yeah, Indiana's like they're gonna be top 15 again next year, and then obviously the flop happened. Like, I like that we're not getting that this year because this team by far has more coming back than that team did. Like, by far.
Not even close.
Way more. Not even close. And
not even close.
Yeah. It's especially because that team didn't have the portal or anything like that. So they were just
the financial backing.
Yeah, 100%. So it's crazy that there's just not any hype. It doesn't make any sense because we literally had the hype train going into 2021, which obviously was the most disappointing season in IU football history.
And it's like
I thought we were going to win too.
They have the lightning rod head coach. They have high-level NFL draft picks up and down the roster. Like, they have a beautiful campus. They have a recognizable brand outside of football. It's like the only thing holding them back is people think Indiana football is bad, which history tells you they are. But again, I'll beat this. I'm going to have to trademark this. Like, they're looking at Indiana's football history. They're not looking at Curt Cignetti's football history. And that's the mistake here. And it's going to have a lot of people looking stupid.
I'm here for it. I cannot.
And we'll be right here typically on Tuesday nights talking about it, but obviously Monday night tonight.
Yeah. Fat Boy says the safety from Purdue would have helped me sleep better at night if they would have taken him in the portal. I was talking about how I wanted Dylan Tyneman in the portal. Remember that? Like after the Purdue game too. I was like, I want Dylan Tyneman in the portal because I know they're going to.
Did he end up at Oregon? He ended up at Oregon.
He's at
right?
Oregon.
Yeah, so we'll see him again.
Tough to beat him, but tough to beat those guys on the recruiting trail. Soon though, we'll be there where we can get the Purdue guy to go to Indiana over Oregon. We're close. But I mean, Tyneman he was a freshman All-American, very similar to D'Angelo Pond's level of just recruit to bring in. So, yeah, I do have us still going to Eugene and getting a dub. And they continue to put Illinois over us. Yeah, like I'm saying, like I swear, Illinois has a big part of Illinois' argument is that they have 4 of their 5 starters on the line coming back. Indiana has 3, and they brought in 3 transfers. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me why there's no hype coming around Indiana. I think it'll happen though. People will turn around and start to realize.
Well, yeah, it's going to be inevitable. If that Illinois game goes the way I think it does or think it will, then yeah, there's going to either be a lot of people going, man, we misranked Illinois, or like, holy cow, I guess we were wrong about Indiana.
Yeah. Yeah. The good news is that we have a prove-it game week 4. So we'll see how good we are then. That actually is I'm not scared. I'm never daunted, but I mean, that's the game that's going to make me a little queasy in my stomach on Friday night. Just will.
No, I call that it's like nervous excitement. That's butterflies. Like these are let's play a top 10 football game in week 4. And Indiana, who knows where they're going to be ranked? I think composite rankings had them at 23, which again, if you listen to us, that's pretty much where I thought they were going to end up, from the media. And I doubt they get much movement playing the non-conference that they do. So the Illinois, hopefully they hold up their end of the bargain and they come in as a top 10, top 8 team. Who knows what movement ahead of them looks like? Maybe some people lose and they're a top 5 team. Maybe Indiana gets to put a top 5 win on their resume early in the season. Who knows?
Maybe Indiana loses to Illinois and then beats both Oregon and Penn State and sneaks back into the tournament. So maybe we shouldn't just, freak out over one game anyways.